Hey, I'm Matt of Meat Church, here with my buddy Nolan of B4 Barbeque.
Let's make pastrami brisket.
Welcome back, guys. We're about to make one of my favorite things in the world, pastrami brisket. It's certainly something that I think we're kind of known for. When I travel to Hawaii Food and Wine, Roy Yamaguchi requests our pastrami. You know, we have a video on this channel that I've made with my buddy Cody Sharp where we make pastrami brisket and then we turn it to a reuben. I elevated those reubens at one point into melts that I take to Hawaii. You can pastrami all sorts of things. It's very popular in Texas, whether it be brisket or beef ribs. So I thought it would be really cool. A really close friend of mine recently hit the Texas Monthly Top 50 list. So for those of you that don't know what this is the standard for the best of barbecue. Now, yes, it is in Texas. I firmly believe the best barbecue comes from Texas. That doesn't mean there's not other great barbecue other places, but I can say this without a doubt. If you are on this list, in this top 50, you are some of the best barbecue in the world. You might think it's an opinion. It's not. It's a fact. So my good buddy Nolan at B4 Barbeque in Mabank made this list a couple weeks back, and I thought it'd be really cool to have him come in and talk about his pastrami because it's something that he's known for, does a great job with it. He does brisket and beef ribs there, and you guys love these Guest Pitmaster videos, so I want to share with you his perspective. So without further ado, I'd like to bring in my buddy Nolan. Good to see you, sir.
Thanks for having me today.
So Nolan is the man, Mabank, Texas. He's in the Mabank Feed Store, which I've said forever is like, I think like the coolest thing ever that you're in a feed store. But we have a lake home at Cedar Creek, and 3 times within a week, random people would ask me, hey, have you tried that new barbecue joint in the feed store? And I was like, what feed store? And then the guy that, you know, takes care of my lawn said the same thing. And after the 3rd time, I was like, we should probably go. And my wife and I went to First Monday in Canton on the way home. I was like, hey, we got to stop in this new place. And she's like, well, it's been a long day and, you know, don't get to talking. I said, well, they won't know who we are. Anyway, so we'll just eat and roll. And I walked around the corner, and as soon as I walked around the corner, Nolan said, Mr. Pittman. And we've been in love ever since.
Yeah, man, it's been fun for sure. I appreciate all you've done for us.
You guys have been crushing it. Tell us a little about yourself before we jump in this pastrami.
Yeah, we started as a food truck back in 2021. My wife took a leap of faith and believed in me that I taught myself how to cook during COVID, and she saw something in it, and she convinced me to shut down my trucking company and my barber shops and jump all in on barbecue. And so we did it, and it pretty much took off for us, and we got a little overwhelmed. We couldn't find help or anything, so we ended up shutting down, and then the feed store was offered to us, and we jumped right back into it, and we haven't looked back ever since. It's been blessings after blessing.
The craziest thing, you had never made any barbecue prior to that. Like, you don't grow up in a barbecue family or anything. That was like, you just jumped in during COVID.
I've never even worked in a restaurant before, never in my life.
And
I could barely make a bowl of cereal before COVID, honestly. Like, it was bad.
We've done video together before. I think I called it the best barbecue side ever, where we made your elote and a Texas Twinkie. We'll put a card up for that, but that video blew up. I mean, I know I haven't looked in a minute, but it's over 1 million views. So I know people love that, and I think a lot of Meat Church people came in the restaurant after.
We couldn't keep corn in stock. I mean, I remember on one Saturday I ordered like 50 pounds of corn. I don't know if, those 20-pound boxes of the fire roasted corn, and I mean, we went through like 4 of those in one day, and I was out in an hour and a half. So.
That's crazy. Well, and the reason we're doing this today is we get so many comments about, we love your collaborations, love your friends. And I always tell everybody, I know everybody and their brother in barbecue. And not that matters, but all my friends are so gracious to me to share what they do. I don't know a lot of people that get their friends to come in and tell you like a tell-all. We have a lot of great stuff on the channel, like Dane's done his OG Smash Burger that has never not won first place in a competition. We've got beef ribs with Goldies. Went down to see Leonard at Truth and did his brisket, a complete tell-all. So these are a lot of fun, and I thought, he's so known for his pastrami, even though we've done it before, we should do that. So, ready to jump in?
Yeah, I'm gonna let it all out today. I'm not holding back on any secrets. So what I give you guys today is what we run with at the restaurant.
Because I always tell people, he can give you the secrets, you still gotta cook it.
For sure.
All right, so we're gonna have some hot water come in. I'll let you grab all your seasonings back here. So I'm gonna let you take it away. This is hot water, by the way. All our videos below in the description, there's always a link to the recipe that goes to meatchurch.com. The week these videos drop, it's actually the banner at meatchurch.com, but it's funny when we do these videos, people ask, where's the recipe? I'm like, it's in the description. So all these measurements will be below. So tell us what you're gonna drop in here.
Okay, so we have the hot water. So what we like to do is we add everything into the hot water, mix it up super well so that way it dissolves the sugars, the salts, the spices, and everything becomes liquid form. And then once we have that, we'll dump it over the brisket, and then we just add cold water to make sure that the rest of the brisket is submerged. Yep.
Sounds good.
So we'll go ahead and start with some onions, some minced garlic.
Smells good already.
This is a little secret I learned, pickle juice.
Ooh, love that. Use pickle juice in a lot of stuff.
Cloves. Pink salt, which is also known as nitrates. This is what does most of the brine.
This is pink curing salt. So hold this to the camera. So not Himalayan pink salt, very important. We might need the spoon for that. Yep. All right, carry on.
Brown sugar, of course. Black peppercorns. Coriander.
Love coriander in mine.
Red peppercorn.
Okay.
Allspice, ground allspice. Horse salt.
Okay.
Okay. And then last is cinnamon. You can use cinnamon sticks, or I use ground cinnamon.
That's cool. That's different. I use whole cinnamon, so I like that.
We used to, but then one day my supplier was out of it, so we needed ground, and we noticed it didn't make any difference whatsoever. So once we have that, we'll just go ahead and mix this up. Super nice.
All right, we're ready for our brisket. So let's, I'm gonna set this aside. I'll do this here. So thank you for bringing a brisket already trimmed. That was awfully nice of you. We've got brisket trim videos on the channel, so we'll put a card up for that. But tell us what we're gonna do from here.
So now we're going to add this brisket into this tub.
Okay.
We're going to add the pre-mixed brine, and then whatever we need to add. We want to make sure that it's fully submerged, so we want to add cold water and just kind of make sure everything's good.
Sounds good. Grab that. Just gonna put it right back in there. You go meat up, fat up, does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
We end up actually rotating halfway through the process after about 3 days.
So I'll give you that, and you can top it off, and we're gonna go brine it. Let's talk about how many days do you let your, go ahead, how many days do you let your brisket soak?
6 to 7 for sure. I like to go 7 if you can, just because it definitely, the longer the better.
Gotta have all that goodness in there. Awesome. Okay. Well, we fully submerged it. We got to get this chilled out, so I'm gonna put a lid on it, and we're gonna take it to the refrigerator.
Yes, sir.
Well, we brought this brisket in now that you've already brined at the restaurant, so we didn't have to wait 7 days.
Helps, doesn't it?
And then tell us, so when you pull it out of the brine, what do you do?
So when I pull it out of the brine, I take it straight to the sink, and we go ahead and just rinse it all off, because you're gonna have a bunch of peppercorns and cloves and allspice stuck to it. So I like to give it a good rinse down. So once I get it rinsed, I bring it back over here to the board, and then I just kind of pat dry it. But the cool thing about these is you don't really have to use a binder because they have so much moisture. Like you pick this thing up, man, it is like completely absorbed with moisture.
It's crazy how heavy they are after it's absorbed everything.
Yeah, it's crazy. A trick too, guys, if y'all like, we take these bear claws that you used to pull pork and stuff, and we stab the crap out of it all over, and that helps the brisket absorb all the juices and brine.
So you do that. You often do that before you put it in the brine.
Yes, yeah, we poke it all over the place before we submerge it, and then normally about 3 or 4 days after, we'll pull it out, flip the brisket over, we'll give it a few more punctures, and then we put it back in the brine, face the other way, just to make sure we're hitting all the sides, because we won't have full penetration.
When I've been in a pinch and don't have 7 days, I'll inject them. You know, if you're doing like a 3 or 4 day thing, you know, to try to get that in there, but something fun to play with. All right, we'll talk about how you season your pastrami briskets.
All right, so like I said, it's full of moisture, so we don't really have to use a binder like on briskets. Most people use like mustard. We don't have to do that here. So what I like to do is first just start with a good like Fiesta 16 mesh pepper, and just season it just like a brisket, guys. So you just kind of do a little once over all the way around.
I think people don't realize how much pepper you need on a brisket. It's something I learned from Wayne Mueller and Joe Zavala. It helps with bark, but I mean, it's obviously a big standard in Texas. Now in pastrami, you want a lot of pepper on it because you've got a lot of salty brine in it.
For
This
sure.
has been my experience.
Yeah, I mean, it makes it taste better, you know what I mean?
Totally. After I started putting a lot more pepper on things like brisket, I transferred that to putting it the first thing I put on chicken and the first thing I put on Texas Twinkies, and I like to add a little extra pepper. It looks good too.
Well, I think the original Texas BBQ, salt, pepper, garlic. You know what I mean? A lot of us new guys, we started with that, and then we just, you know, we started adding paprika or ground onion powder, whatever we, you know what I mean? So.
All right, now what?
All right, now, the one and only, holy cow.
Love it. It's really cool that you use a lot of our seasonings for a long time. So in the restaurant.
We still do, man. We still do.
Got a great, cool Meat Church flag hanging in the restaurant. Like, you've been a good supporter, great supporter of us and our family. So we appreciate it.
On the soda machine. We don't forget where we came from, you know? Another thing too, I like to pat it down. It helps secure that seasoning on there.
Awesome. You do both sides?
Do I?
Yeah.
You want to do both sides?
No, I mean,
me normally I don't, just because I get the top and the sides.
Yeah.
The bottom, I feel like you always end up losing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially once you wrap it, the moisture goes.
See, that's the benefit of you guys doing stuff like this. It's a whole new perspective. I love it. Talk to me about, let's like, give us step by step. Like, this is going in your smoker. What's your cook?
All right, so once it's done like it is now, get the smoker fired up, 250, 275. We treat this just like a normal brisket. So we leave it on there 250, 275 for about 5-6 hours. I don't wrap based off of temperature. I wrap based off color. That's just because I'm doing 30, 40 briskets a day, right? So once I get that color that I want, it doesn't matter if it's 150 or 180 inside. I'm just going off that color. Once I get the color, I'll go ahead and hit it with some beef tallow that we render down ourselves at the restaurant. It kind of helps pop that color a little bit more. We do that about an hour before wrap, and then once we do that, we go ahead and wrap it up tight in paper. And then once we do paper, we kind of do a full boat just because it helps protect that paper, and it allows us to crank that heat up to about 300, 325. Because once we have the bark, the smoke ring, and the flavor, all we're trying to do is get to that internal temperature of 202, 203.
Crank your temperature up, you take it to 202, 203, and you're done.
Well, then we pull it out. We normally let it sit out in the pit room on a rack for 30, 45 minutes to stop the cook process completely. Once we have that done, then we take it inside. And a little trick, I don't know why it works. I don't have an explanation. I think you've even asked me before why we wrap in cellophane too. It does something magical to the brisket. I don't know what it does, but it works.
So you're 30, 45 minutes off the pit, you go ahead and cellophane into your warmer.
Yep, and then in the warmer, we rest for as long as we cook, right? So if we're cooking 12 hours, we'll rest in 12 hours. So it's a big muscle. We just cook the crap out of it for 12 hours. That thing needs to relax and calm down and do what it does best. So to me, the longer it rests, the better it is. And I feel like
you have to pay attention to this. This is a major tip coming to you from Meat Church. Dane Weaver's the first guy that coined this term to me, where he said, people focus on the increase of internal temperature to get a brisket cooked to 202, 203. Not a lot of people want to take the time to focus on the decrease in temperature, which he said is equally as important. We were all resting, but the way he said that I thought was very important. It's just exactly what you just said. Most people want to cook a brisket and rest an hour and eat it. That's fine. It's going to taste beefy. It's going to be okay. But if you put the time in to turn this 12-hour process into a 24-hour process, that's how the best brisket in the world is made, in my opinion.
It does, man. And like I said, it's crazy how just doing this every day for the past 3 years, I still learn stuff every single day.
Totally, we tweak all the time.
And I love that. I mean, the longer a brisket rests, it's just better. Like you said, those guys that they want to cook it the night before, they want to have it ready by lunch the next day, let it rest 2 hours. Is it good? Yeah, but it's still kind of rubbery. And, you know what I mean?
And you cook with post oak?
Yes, I do. That's predominantly yes. If I can get my hands on hickory or pecan out here in East Texas, then sometimes I love to do that. But most of the time, I'd say 90% we're doing post oak.
Love it. Okay, well, we're going to move this to the side, and you've brought a brisket from the restaurant that you held in your warmer, all that, so we don't have to wait 24 hours. I'm going to grab that and bring that in.
Yes, sir. Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, we just had it in the smoker to keep it warm, so this is obviously straight from your restaurant and everything you talked about, so let's see this baby.
I'm fired up, man. I know you're a big fan of Cat's Deli, and I'm going
to
put that to the test today. I'll reach in, pull her out.
Loaded with all that juice in there. Here we go, get back for the waterfall. The big reveal. This is my favorite part in barbecue. Whoo, whoo. Looks awesome. That's sexy right there. Slice into that baby.
You ready?
Yeah. I love when it just gives up like that. Oh man.
For you, kind sir.
It's crazy how the texture all changes, but look at that. That is perfection. We'll give it all the tests here. Like, oh yeah, I'm going for it.
Right, cheers.
The old meat cheers. Boom. Dude, I'm gonna get a minute.
Proud of that one.
You should be. That's I mean, I don't even want regular brisket after I have that. This makes me want to pastrami all the things in my fridge.
And it's so great to do this at home, you know what I mean, for your family, for all the backyard guys that always love doing brisket. Like, this gives your family something completely different to enjoy.
Glad you said that. I've always said this is one of the most rewarding things. I think there's certain videos and cooks that we do that people don't want to do because it's intimidating, like making sausage or this, because there's 7 days in front of it. And most people are like, oh man, it's Friday, I want a brisket this weekend. We obviously can't make pastrami brisket in that time frame, but I would encourage people, when you see this video, that brine's easy, make it, and then just put the brisket away in your fridge. You don't need a container that big. Put it away in your fridge. If you don't think you need a whole brisket, then do a flat or something, but put it away for a week, and then next week when you cook it, it's gonna be epic. Man, so good.
One of my favorite things to do. Like I said, it's just like doing a brisket. You're just letting it soak for 7 days and all that deliciousness beforehand.
Man, I can't thank you enough for coming to do this on our channel. Multiple videos now.
It's an honor to be here.
Tell everybody where to find you.
So we're located at 1100 North 3rd Street, Mabank, Texas, inside the Mabank Feed Store. Just come through the front doors. About halfway through the store to the left is the entrance to the restaurant. So
call it an hour from the Metroplex, depending where you're at, maybe like a hair more, but it's a great trip. It's a great drive.
It's an easy drive.
Appreciate you guys being here. Be sure to check out the Guest Pitmaster series at the very end of the video. The end screen will have the Guest Pitmaster series. Ton of great videos in there from the pros. I always say this, these aren't content creators. These are the pros, the people you want to get tips from. So Nolan, thanks again for being here. Like and subscribe. Thank y'all for getting us to 1 million. See y'all next time. I'm gonna keep eating.